Happy Mola Monday, Epic 7, and welcome to this week's Hall of Trials video. This week we'll be fighting the Rampaging Death Dealer Ray. The completely different conditions this week is unlike last week where we had to have one of each element, or I'm sorry, no repeating elements. This time we have to have no fire elements. They saw us using Acades and said, no more of that, let's make it hard. So here's the team that I went with. Now, in place of Doris, you could run Amelia. You'd get a higher score, but it's so much harder to tune. I'll explain. First, we're going to build Schneel. I went with a relatively fast Schneel. I think you want him north of 230 speed. A Destro set worked out for me because I had the stats, and you want to stack a destruction set on him. You want to get as close to 350 crit damage as you can, and if you've got it, run the POS artifact to overcap his crit damage. Next, we're going to run Sylvan Sage Vivian. She's going to be our unit with the highest attack in the game. I put the Cruel Mischief artifact on her to give her 40% additional attack because remember, she sends her attack to the front row in the break phase, and that's what lets us get really, really high damage. Also, if you take a look at her S1 skill, you'll notice that every time she uses her S1, it increases her attack by 20% for a 60% boost to attack. That gives her a total of like 11k attack. That's what makes our Schneel hit so hard. Next, we'll run Magic Scholar Doris. Doris, I just have a middling speed. 210 seemed to work out pretty good for me. I ran her slower, and sometimes she didn't cut. You got to speed tune her properly. I'm putting her on the Shamadra Staff artifact to boost the healing. Now, the reason that we want to run Doris is, even though she's got pretty good healing on her S2 and S3, if you look at her skill tree, right here you'll notice it says, after being attacked by dark elements, recovers health of allies by 2%. And that's impacted by Shamadra Staff. And that little bit of extra healing, because every single thing in this fight is dark, really kind of helped keep us alive when we otherwise would have died. Last is going to be our Silence Provoke, Reverse Provoke unit. I'm going to use Euphine for no reason other than that. I like Euphine and I wanted to give her a shot. She does pretty good damage, although her damage isn't really that important. You just want her to be as slow as humanly possible. I put her on Warhorn for extra damage. Alright, at the start of the fight, Ray throws his poison vial, sticking venoms on the entire team, but that's Schneel's job, is to cleanse all that off so we take no injury damage, making this fight a lot easier. Remember, if you use Schneel's S3, it's got a 50% CR push in it. You'll notice Schneel zooming down the line. That means you're going to have more turns between fights, which means you're going to trigger that pop damage a little more often. So be aware, if you're just not quite surviving, maybe try using the S1 on Schneel so you don't take as much pop damage. But Doris is a strong enough healer, we should be good. Ray always targets the back row with those S1 hits, so he will only ever reset Vivian. You can't rely on her S3 for heals, and she's the only one that gets healed, so hurt, so you want to make sure you have a good, strong burst healing to keep your Vivian alive, as well as some AoE healing to keep the rest of the team alive. You'll notice those attacks triggering Doris's passive, giving us a little bit of a heal, a Touch of Rekko style heal. We're going to use the S3 on Vivian to heal her all the way back up to full. And we are now one turn away from Ray's ultimate. That means this is the turn where he activates the ads, and this is the turn where he does his ultimate, which is the break phase. So we don't have to worry about damage on this round. And because we have to worry about damage on this round, we can save Doris's S3 for inside the break phase. So we'll just S1 here. The blind doesn't matter. He self-cleanses as soon as he takes a turn. And we cleanse off all the stuff, and now Euphine is ready to scream, applying the silences. This is where you would use Fairy Tale Tenebria to do the reverse provokes as well, and that makes those guys attack and push this phase. And now we are inside of the break phase. It's time to start dropping some bombs. So Schneel uses his S3, 1.9 million. That's at POS 6. We'll see as the POS ramps up, so does his damage. Same attack again, a little bit higher ranking on the POS artifact. That means more attack, more crit damage. 1.99. We go again. $2 million, and so on and so forth. Vivian can just S1 here. We can go ahead and use the S2 on Doris. This will heal the whole team, as well as put regeneration buff on everybody, and that's nice because unlike outside the break phase, nobody's here to strip the regen off of our Vivian, so she'll be able to heal up nicely. Another big hit from Schneel coming in, and this puts us at 13.2 million. You know what? If I S1 here, it would be slightly more damage, but it would put her at the back of the line, and there's no way she would be able to take a turn. So I'm actually choosing to S3 here. It'll heal everybody up, and we can go into the next transition phase at full health, even though it costs us, you know, maybe 200-300, yeah, like 200k damage. So we're at 14 million out of the first break phase. Very respectable. I'm not missing that 200 damage at all, especially because we're practically at full health. So we'll just S1 Ray here. And remember, if you use your S3, it pushes Schneel up, so that's more pop damage you take, so be aware of your health. If you're not surviving, try not S3ing Ray, but Doris is a strong healer, so we're good. Everybody's still healthy, so we just S1 to stall a turn. We S1, he targets Vivian, pop damage. Vivian is not going to survive another direct hit like that, so we've got to heal Vivian. We'll drop the S3 into her for big heals. Vivian's back to full health. Once again, we get the AoE heal thanks to Doris's passive. Drop this last big hit in, and by big hit I mean 30k. Hit, pop, and now we are one turn away from ultimate, which means this is the round where he pushes phase, so we don't have to worry about healing, and that's a good thing because Doris was out of healing power anyway. I'll go ahead and S3 here. Schneel is, would have been far enough back. I think this is fine. We'll take a little bit more pop damage, but, you know, we can get an extra hit off. You don't have to worry about using S3 skill on Schneel. Once you enter the break phase, it resets his S3, so you'll be able to get full damage out of him. Our POS is up to 10 now, so we're going to get full damage out of his S3s moving forward. Euphine screams and pushes phase, and it's perfect timing with Doris right at the bottom there. Doris is able to use her S2. This will put the special attack buff. Now, mind you, that special attack buff doesn't transfer to the front. That's for Vivian only, but the greater attack buff does. You'll notice that we do 2.475 million on that hit. Now she's missing that buff. We use the S3 again. It's the same damage. Right here, 2.475. So don't fret too much about that extra attack buff. That just helps Vivian out. As long as she's got the gab, Schneel hits like a truck. Now, this was a little bit of a mistake. I think we could have used our S3 to push Vivian, cycle her a little bit, and maybe got her S3 ready faster. But it is what it is. It's going to cost us an extra hit because Euphine interrupts, only doing 400k damage, and we probably could have gotten an extra hit out of Schneel. I think we robbed ourselves of about 3 million points. The 2.47 plus the extra hit from Vivian. I think this would have been about 3 million points higher, but you know what? 29.1 coming out of stage 2. Much as I would have liked to have seen 30, 31, 32 million damage, we take it. Now we have got a decision to make. Everybody's hurt a little bit. We'll go ahead and S3 here. Oh, shoot. You know what? If we had an S3'd, we could have used this to push Vivian up after she took a turn. It is what it is. We just roll with the guys. We roll with it. So nobody's hurt bad enough to worry about. So we're just going to S1 and hopefully Vivian can take the hit after all the pop damages go off. Would really have rather not using the S3 on Schneel because that's just one more level of pop damage, which makes it easier for Vivian to get one shot. But hopefully I didn't poison the run. Hopefully Vivian can take the hit even after the pop damage. So there's 1 pop damage, 2 pop damage, and that would have been it. He wouldn't have cut here. And that's just 1 more pop damage, and I don't know what I was worried about. She was fine. Plenty of health. I don't know why you guys were worried. This was fine. This is fine. So Euphine drops her S3 in for an insane 30k damage. Oh, 37k. Hey, points are points, guys. We definitely need to S3 Vivian because she is not going to take another hit. So this heals Vivian back up to full. And we can just pop that in there. Now remember, this pop damage looks scary, but those attacks can kill and raise attacks can kill. But the pop damage is a percentage of your health. It can never kill you. You can all be at 1 HP and the pop damage will never kill you as long as you don't take any other hits. We'll go ahead and heal up here because we are hurt pretty bad. S3. You know what? We didn't need to heal there. We could have saved that S2 for inside the break phase. That was stupid. Oh, why did I S2 there? We were fine. Now we don't have a non-attack skill, and Doris is going to waste another attack. It's another 3 million damage we just gave up. Okay, regardless. How hard does Schneel hit now? 3 million damage. Hot damn. And 1 million off of there. Here's another 3 million. And here's our wasted attack. 50k. Back to 3 million point hits. So the screw up with using Doris's S2 here and the screw up earlier, I think robbed us of about 5 to 6 million points. So we'll check out what the score is at the end of this and see what it could have been, how you guys can improve. Okay, there's another 3 million. Another 3 million. Okay, so 5 to 6 million onto 48.9. So we would have been around 53 to 54 million points. We'll assume the latter. We'll split the difference, right? We'll assume it would have been 53.5 if we had done everything perfectly. 48.9 gets us third place. What would 53 do? Hey, you know what? We would have still been third place. Just a more secure third place, but there you go. Looks like Ebby and Elusiel used Amelia, who is much harder to thread the needle, but they used Lulika, and I can see it, right? Lulika gives barriers and has a non-attack skill allowing you to use more Eligos hits. Clever, clever. Much harder team to put together, but if you want to go the limited unit Amelia route, that looks like a path to even higher points. Use my score, you're going to be in the 50 to 53 million range top end probably, but hey, I'm not running it again. 48.9 is a top 100 score, and that's all I care about. So hopefully this video helps you out. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and you guys have a great rest of your week.